All right, so today I'm going to talk about two things. First of all, why I'm doing this videos or these videos. Second thing is about intrinsic value. So, I'm not going to be one of those old people talking about intrinsic value and this thing has low value and whatnot. I'll probably be giving you the reality check of today's world. So, before I begin off that, I'm going to talk about why I'm making this video. So, I I don't know if you say I lost it or I missed out on it or one of the things, right? I was pretty young back then. Not that young, but still young. I mean, I graduated university. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and I before even doing YouTube, I was doing websites, and I did that for like 6 months because I was at the same time I was looking for a job, right? So, anyways, I started studying about economics and about gold and silver, and eventually I went into crypto. Actually, it wasn't even called crypto. It was called Bitcoin and Litecoin. There's only two coins back then. I mean, two coins. So there was only two coins back then, and I got really interested in it. And pretty much, I was starting to invest in it. Like I think a year later, right? I didn't buy any. I wanted to invest in it. I sent my friends money because I couldn't buy it in my country. It was one of those most horrible things, right? So I couldn't buy it in my countries. And then when it did come to my country, uh, I asked my uncle about it, and then he basically just pretty much knocked me right off the path of buying the coins. Now that what do you call it? We're in 2021. You know how wrong he is and how pissed off I am because it's around like 70,000 in my currency, and I could have bought it for like $50, $100, or $200. And actually, I actually sent my friend thousands of dollars to buy it. He just didn't buy it. But luckily, he didn't steal the money. So I guess that's kind of good. No, I kind of wish he stole it now. Actually, I don't know if I don't know at the time. I don't know if I wanted him to steal the money. But, now that he didn't steal the money and he didn't buy me a coin, it makes me feel bad because damn it. All right. So, anyways, so that's why I'm making this video because I don't want somebody to knock you off your path if you are smart enough and intelligent enough to know of something new, right? I mean, back then I knew about it and I was really into gold, I was really into silver, studying the economics and stuff like that, and I just got knocked off the path by my uncle. And it losing millions of dollars, in my opinion, I lost it since I was on the path, and they just knocked me off the path, and I still believed in it. And I'll give you an example why. So, my example is very simple. It's like you've been buying lottery tickets for 10 years, right? And then your wife is like, if you buy that lottery ticket tonight, I'm gonna divorce you. So you're like, fine, I won't buy it. And then next day, bam, the number that you've been buying for 10 years, you won. That's essentially what happened, and it really pissed me off because I was like on the path to being a multi-millionaire. Well, I mean, I'm already a millionaire. I think I have a net worth of around 2 million, but or maybe 1.5, somewhere around there. Don't quite remember. But, you know, I could have been like 5, 10, 20 millions. Yeah, man. I don't even know how much. I don't even want to calculate it because, you know, back then, I think what I remember very well is I'm not sure if I said it in other videos, but I always say it because I'm so pissed. So, you know, back then my uncle was saying, "Oh yeah, you're don't gamble with your money. I'm not gonna help you out and shit like that." And then how much it was it was 100K. It's like, "Oh, I'll take your 100K, put it into a bank, and you'll make another 100K in 10 years." In 10 freaking years, you're thinking about, wow, 100K for 100K. Why don't I just go buy some stocks, right? So, anyways, I'm making these videos now because I want to make sure other people don't walk the same path. And if I've helped you out, then you can always donate to me. Help me out. But this is one of the things I want to say. If you're worried about starting to invest, don't be. And one of the reasons is some people are thinking, oh, you need to learn this, how to look at the earnings, the reports, I don't know, the the cost and the shit, revenue and shit like that. Let's be honest here. In our generation, those things don't exist. If you were to still look at the earnings and shit, you probably not will not make any money. That's just not how it works anymore. Maybe the older folks, they're sitting there looking at the earnings and stuff like that. It makes them feel better. If earnings were so important, you know, Bitcoin wouldn't be 50,000 and gold wouldn't be like 2,000 or 1,000, not even at 2,000. If all these intrinsic value, and one of the reasons what caused me to uh to do this video is because I was reading up on a company, right? And this is simply Wall Street. It's like calculating the intrinsic value of X company. I'm like, who the hell cares? I mean, all the stocks I bought, I never even looked at the earnings. I don't even know what the fuck they sell sometimes, right? I mean, well, I do know what they sell, but sometimes I don't, right? I mean, the thing is, in today's world, it's more about the hype. Whatever is there, whatever is going, is going. I mean, Dogecoin is going, and you might as well just buy it, right? I mean, that's just how it is. And there are a lot of teachers, and I call these guys fake or girls fake teachers. They don't know what the hell they're doing. If they knew what the hell they were doing, they wouldn't be teachers, right? That's just how it is. Because if you were a multimillionaire, you wouldn't be a teacher. You would be doing something else. So because you're always, most of the teachers are freaking always up in arms for more money, right? I mean, if they're always like striking and going on protest for money, that means that they don't have any money. So, anyways, I was speaking to a girl and she was telling me, "Oh yeah, you have to learn about reading this and that." And I'm telling her, "You don't need to learn any of that, okay? I mean, if you buy whatever industry, let's say the marijuana industry, right? I mean, that didn't even make any money. I mean, they were planning to legalize it and everything. And all the companies started going like high, high, high. And, it went up to like, I don't know, some of the companies I was looking at, I think Tilray went up to like $300. How much is Tilray right now? So Tilray ran up to like $400. I don't remember what it was. I think during that hype time. But let me look at Tilray right now. I think it's under 100 from what I know. I could be completely wrong because I don't even follow Tilray that much, but I know about it. It's $31. So it dropped from 300 to $31. And obviously those intrinsic value, those earning reports, anybody, if you have a teacher or you're looking at some website teaching you how to invest and you need to read all that shit, just close it out and say forget it, because that's just not how it works anymore. Maybe that's how it worked in the 1950s, maybe that's how it worked in the 1980s, maybe that's how it worked in the 1990s, and then maybe that's how it worked in the year 2000 or 2008. But after 2008, with quantitative easing, that's not how it works. Nobody really cares, especially after the pandemic, right? I mean, it's mostly about the hype. I mean, look, if intrinsic value mattered, right? All the cryptocurrency or most of the, I don't know how many thousand there are, 8,000, whatever thousand there are, wouldn't be worth anything. But they are. So, we have a new generation of investing, and that's just how it is. Even though I believe in intrinsic value and I believed in it for a very long time, I looked at the earning report, looked at the valuation and whatnot, right? But at the end of the day, you know, a news can just basically make a stock go up 300%. And it doesn't really have to say anything. All it says is, oh, we're going to be doing some EV stuff or doing some other stuff. And then, they haven't done it yet. It will still go up. And as much as I like all of this foundational support of having an intrinsic value, earnings, and whatnot, many companies don't, and they're still like really high. What are you gonna do, right? I mean, that's just not how it works anymore. There's not many investors, and I think that's also one of the reasons why Peter Schiff, like the guy that predicted 2008, as well as whatever that might be coming along soon. Well, what he doesn't get why Bitcoin is going up and gold is going down is because a lot of people my age and younger, right? Millennial and younger, so Gen Z, we do not care about intrinsic value. It's kind of like having a disc, right? I mean, this is a video game, and generally speaking, I like the thing because it had the disc, which was, well, there's no disc in here, but there's the disc, and then there's the art book, and then there's the cover art, right? You know, but they also have it in digital version. Now, our generation, we want to be mobile, and what we do is we rather have the digital version, right? So if you go to another country, you can just log in and just play instead of having the physical copy, because this physical copy is going to take up space. You're going to need a house, and most of the people probably, if you live in a major city, you probably don't have that big of a house. I mean, it might be a shack. I mean, unfortunately, that's just how it is. So, you know, our generation, we're just going digital, and not just that, we are not investors. So think about it this way. This is physical, right? This is a physical shit. And investor, think of this as investor, and then you have the digital version, which is like on the phone, right? You could download it anywhere, play it anywhere, just log in. And the digital version is the trader. So there's less people willing to invest for 5, 10, 20 years. That's the dumbest idea. That's like one of those Jim Cramer kind of things. I used to follow Jim Cramer. When I started, it took me years. I think 5, 6, 7 years before I realized that this world, right? I think I just realized it like during this pandemic. I mean, I was still investing for the long term and stuff. But after this pandemic, during this pandemic, I think I made like more money than I made 10 years investing on something that was going down. So, you might as well just play with the wave instead of trying to play the contrarian play, which is, looking at the valuation, the generation, the revenue. I don't know. I mean, especially with Wall Street's bets, I think there's just a lot of people going in, and now like if you spam something, let's say Dogecoin, if it's at 1 cent like Elon, and then you buy it, it goes up to 8 cents. Hey, you made 800%, right? So, in my opinion, the game of investing and trading has changed. Unfortunately, the pandemic has put everyone out of job, and we're all trading online or trying to invest or doing something that's trying to make money online. And you got to go play with the time. You can't always be trying to invest for 10, 20 years. That makes no freaking sense. I mean, you need the money today, now. So you want to buy something that's going up, right? I don't know what's going up, but you got to like look up, research. Like for me personally speaking, intrinsic value of that stock don't really freaking matter. It is the intrinsic value of that industry. Let's say the marijuana industry. If it was going to get legalized or some beneficial thing, it doesn't even have to make any money. If there's some good news about that industry, the entire stock market for that sector will go up. Or the electric vehicle, right? I mean, let's say Tesla. So if Tesla goes up, right? All the other the EV stuff will go up, like the battery, the car parts, um, what do you call it? The graphite that is used in there, the cobalt, the lithium batteries and stuff like that. All that thing will go up, and nobody care. I like half the symbols I buy. I don't even know like how much they make. I don't even know anything about it. I just buy it, and then next day it goes up like 50, 60%. I'm like, I'm gone. I'm selling it. So, you know, that is essentially what is happening. So intrinsic value don't really matter. And reading the reports, that don't really freaking matter. What matters is if that industry is going up or that sector is going up, and then you get in on it and then get out of it, right? That's essentially it. And that's what I told one of my friends when she asked me. I'm just like, if I tell you investing is going to take 10, 20 years, you're going to be freaking old By the time you make any money, I think your parents might be dead. And we don't live in those time anymore. Where we invest for 10, 20 years, as much as you have Jim Cramer and those type of people there like telling you to invest for like the long term. Can you imagine that? I mean, invest in something that's going up 1 to 2% versus going investing in something going up 20, 30, 40, 50%, and then you just sell out like the next day or something, or the whatever. I mean, it's insane. I mean, so intrinsic value, I don't think it matters. I'm still learning, but I could tell you that I don't look at any intrinsic value. And luckily I haven't lost any money. I just what I look at is the economics. I mean, like inflation, what is happening in the economy, and I look at those. And those are my foundation, right? I mean, as long let's say silver, right? I like silver, and I've always said I like silver. I believe silver has a foundation because it's used in electrical vehicles, also solar panels and things like that, right? So I don't really give a shit if there's any earnings, right? As long as they have a mine and they're mining it, we're good. And then I don't know if I'm gonna be holding. Actually, I do have a stock I held for a year already, so I'm quite optimistic about that one. I don't know why, but I am. Uh, but there's no dividend, so holding it is kind of boring. But you know, other stocks I buy, I rarely look at the intrinsic value or anything. I don't even think that thing matters. I think that's why Peter Schiff is having such a hard time, if you follow him, on getting why Bitcoin is at 50,000 and gold is at 1,700. Not to have anything against gold. I like gold too, but reality, back to reality, right? In reality, that is what's happening. And what can you do? That's just how it is. People would prefer the digital copy opposed to the physical copy, right? They don't want the physical copy because it's annoying. It's kind of like the oil, right? The oil market, where oil went to like minus $30 because people didn't want to get the barrel of oil. So, anyways, that's what I have to talk about intrinsic value. Uh, I don't know. What do you call it? Earnings report, they don't really matter anymore. I mean, sure, at one point it will matter. As far as I know, in this pandemic right now, it doesn't freaking matter, and no one really freaking cares. If you want to make some money, then you better go online, do some research, check out what good industry, like the EV industry or something else, right? The mining industry, or I don't know what industry. I mean, there are industries that are coming up, and you probably start investing in there. I just do not think that this intrinsic value thing really ever matters anymore. I mean, as of now, I know it doesn't matter. Maybe it'll matter next year. Maybe it'll matter 2 years from now. Who the hell knows? I mean, Bitcoin went up to 20,000 and then went down to like 3,000, right? I mean, at one point it will matter, but as far as I know, I mean, that wasn't a day. That was like 2, 3 years or 4 years. I mean, it went this and then went like that, right? For a few years. So, as far as I know, this year it could just keep on going up, and then maybe next year it'll go down. Who the hell knows, right? And being in a pandemic, who even knows if you're gonna be alive tomorrow? So why even try investing for 10 years? That's the thing I've always thought about when I mean, when these people like they tell you to invest for a long term. We're in an era of COVID. What if you die tomorrow? I mean, what is your investment worth when you're dead? All right. So, anyways, that's all. That's my video on intrinsic value. I think I went on a tangent most of the time, but I think pretty much I don't I don't think it really freaking matters anymore.